Boom, 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 boom. Mind flaming his island soaring gala school, and they're gonna fuck at school. Ba-da-ba-ba. Yep, you know it. We're back into the world of whatever it's called with Iron Flame Part 3. Do you remember?
What is it called?
I don't know what
Alaria or something?
I don't know what the continent is called. I think it might just be capital C continent Witcher style. But I think the place that they're in is Navarre.
You're right. Yes, Navarre.
Now I want to start. So there's a sex scene. We got our sex scene.
Okay, so can I do my first surprise?
Oh, please. Yeah.
So my surprise is I read part of this section.
You did?
I did.
Oh, that's very fun. But you only having the context of what I've told you.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I believe my opinions as much as I have them. I think I can adjust for the fact that these are books I have not read before and have started.
Oh,
in the
that's right.
middle
You
of.
also didn't read the first one.
No, I've not read any of this. So to start on page 200
Yeah.
and then read for, I don't know, I've read maybe 60 pages.
Nice. Okay. I think there's a.
It was not good. I will say that.
No.
And I don't think that's just because I started in the middle of the second book.
And you
having
weren't
read none of
lost,
them.
do you think? Were you?
No, it took me a second to be like, oh yeah, this.
Well, 'cause
I
I
remember
don't-
Mac talking about this.
I also don't know any of the ancillary characters' names.
Okay, yeah.
So like when they pop up and it's like like Jangar, I'm like I don't know who
It's
Jangar
pronounced
is.
Gengar.
Sorry, Gengar.
Evolution of a haunter.
Hauntor. Yeah, Haunter and Gengar are in this chapter.
Violet goes to Lavender Town.
Oh my God, what was the Pokemon? You remember those scary Pokemon videos? That was like, it was like a black and white version of Pokemon, and it was like all the Pokemon are dead. It was like a evil hacked Game Boy cartridge or something. The people know what I'm talking about. But you read the section.
I did. That was not good.
And
one thing I think really came across. We'll talk about the details of what happens. I read. We'll probably talk about this. They have like a torture exercise thing.
yes,
Through their, I guess, first sex scene, as you said.
yes, in the shower.
In the shower, locker room, whatever.
Yeah, so this brings me to what I wanted to say.
Okay.
And now we might not be the guys to answer this question.
Mm-hmm.
I have never read the two words swollen clit so much in my life. Now, and she kept saying it, and I felt a little bit immature. I felt like an eighth grade boy, in health class. But like ladies out there reading it, is that sexy?
To read swollen
To read
clit.
the word like he pressed on my swollen clit? Thoughts?
I had a similar reaction to the word clit, and I guess I don't like it.
I think the sexy,
But it's just-
I kept like laughing. Like I didn't think it was sexy.
I don't know if I've finished all of it, but
She finished all of it.
oh, nice. But I think
That's
like
sound of
the
him
word-
clapping her cheeks too. That's what it probably sounds like with his 7-inch penis.
the only or
Only.
so much.
I think
that
it's
seems
impressive.
Horror. That seems average, isn't that a little bit more than average?
I think
don't know
the
what
average is like 5,
Is it really?
but like in porn, they're like like 8, 9,
Yeah.
10.
Also, show don't tell.
Yeah, I don't need to know the size of his penis.
Just say big. Like
But
that's anyway. I
like
don't know.
throbbing penis. Like none of that does anything for me. Maybe that's just me. The swollen, the
Potentially,
throbbing.
there's certain things where
My mom listens to this show.
I think just like saying "fuck" in the middle of a sentence,
It's really embarrassing.
or like the word, just reading the word "clit"
yeah,
is like
it's good.
it takes me out a little bit.
Yeah. That's actually a problem I wanted to bring up to the whole thing. I'm going to sound like there's too much cussing in this book. I think there really is. There's something.
Completing the hardcore hooligans boomer arc.
Well, it's just like
This foul-mouthed young lady.
there's so many of these Effenheimers getting thrown around. You know what I mean? And I just don't think, I don't know what about it strikes me as so weird. Maybe the rest of it I think is so obviously written for children that suddenly they're like, I'm going to fuck your clit. It's like, what did you just say?
Well, because they also just say "fuck" all the time.
They say
I
fuck.
think it feels like a teenager who just learned about swearing and is trying to be cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it reads like.
Did you like how in this sex scene in this book, Violet says something to the effect of like, "Oh my God, I've been waiting for this. I've wanted you for so long," and Zayden says, "Same," because I did. That was good.
Same.
That was good. So you read. So that is not. well, it's maybe 150 pages away from the end of part
Sure.
1. So you read from there. Yeah, so they have a maybe they've been taking this class the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but they're like, the next lesson is you're going to get tortured.
Isn't it part of that survival class or something?
Don't know.
Also, it doesn't matter.
I don't know, and I don't think it matters. But yes, there's a class where they get tortured, and there's this drink that's introduced that if you like drink it, it like cuts you off from your dragon.
Okay.
You know, like they're like eating food. Because the torture class is stupid. Because like presumably, if you are a POW, you didn't just have a huge biggest meal of your whole life, like big full tummy going in and getting tortured.
Okay, so we'll talk about the torture thing more in depth, but like the end of the torture scenario is they escape the torture scenario.
Yeah.
And so if this is ostensibly a school on how to like survive a torture scenario, why would then the answer be, oh, just escape it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they say nobody has ever done it. There's like a secret. You get like a secret patch if you do it.
Oh my god!
But then if you recall the way they do it,
Elden
is just
Ring achievement.
Right, it's a secret achievement. So you hover over it on Steve, you can't see how many people. You can see how many people have it, but you don't know what it is. But I like how the way they get out of it is they just melt the locks on the door, and like you're telling me,
it's one step removed from they just leave.
I know. It's also the whole gimmick of. Also, that is there because Violet gets for real horrifically tortured at the end of part 1.
Oh, that's why that's there. I see. And they like have to make up a secret.
Yeah, they have to make
like
up a secret.
Keep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Except they don't do the prisoner's dilemma. They all get tortured in the same room.
They also don't get tortured that much. Also, okay, hold on.
They don't get tortured that much. I mean, you're not. I don't think you're wrong. I was like, they're just like getting punched.
It's like the threat of torture. So one of them gets punched once.
Yeah.
And they're like, that was too far. And then immediately gets taken to the school nurse.
I know.
It's like, okay, what? This is the first time we've ever run this class.
I'm pretty
experiment.
sure, like in the CIA, they for real waterboard you.
Right, and also the solution. It's not like you can get out of that by saying, "So I want to leave," and they're like, "Okay, that was always allowed." It's
you
like a riddle.
It. I know. Yeah, Nolan, the healer, is there. Dane Atos is brought in to maybe read her mind, and he's like, "No, I'm not gonna do it."
That was the most contrived.
I know
shit I've edited because I think. I don't know if we've said this enough. This book was written in 5 months.
Yes. Yes, lest we forget.
And I think some things in this book would not happen if they're not if this was not written in 5 months.
Yeah.
Also, they just bring a guy back from the dead.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about that.
What?
It's hate.
No, but like
from Dune.
If you can bring anyone back, if like one guy in the nurse's office tries really hard, what's the point of anything? There's no stakes. There's no stakes left.
Do you know what the best part is? I don't know if you got this far, but he comes back as a good guy.
Oh, that is his. Oh my god.
So if you've been unfortunate enough to read these books, or if you listen to the show, you may remember Jack Barlow, the bully from Fourth Wing, is crushed by a mountain because it's the first time she can use her lightning magic or whatever, because they just get their dragons. At least I think that's when it happens. But he gets crushed by a mountain, and that is his exunt of Fourth Wing. If you will permit me a little bit of French.
Exunt. Exunt. Covered by mountain.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. What is that? What you egg stabs
Exit.
him? Yeah.
What you egg stabs him. Exit pursued by bear,
Exit
famously
by
from
bear.
Owen Just Tale.
Yeah. Yeah. So we keep seeing. There's little hints of this. I don't think I ever brought it up, but this Nolan guy. His name is Nolan. He's or Nolan. It's Nolon. He's really tired all the time, and he's like a good healer. And like, yeah, healing is tough, but like nobody's getting like this injured where you'd have to be this tired all the time.
Sure.
And so there's this mystery, like, why is Nolan so tired?
Oh, and the big air quotes mystery of why people aren't allowed to get healed anymore.
Right.
I guess that is the conclusion of that.
I would imagine it's because they've all been trying to bring one guy back.
I'm gonna get back, which I think is insane, and that's a dumb mystery.
And is not so. At the end of part 1, it is not resolved what the plan to bring Jack Barlow was for, because Varish dies.
Oh, the principal, right?
And yes, and
Okay.
he even says, like, when he's the one torturing Violet for reasons we'll get into.
Okay,
Yep. And I'm just going to get this out there. A brief section of this book I actually quite liked.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Fantastic.
That I thought it was firing on all cylinders. And I mean, it's still not good. But similar to Fourth Wing, I was like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
I just cannot stand with the whole trust. It even happened in the section you read, the whole I'm going to trust you and I'm going to love you and I'm going to hug you.
Well, and like they're fighting. She's like, I love you with my whole heart and soul. But like, I can't. Yeah, same. But like, clearly you don't love me. Like it's been how long? It's been 2.5 books.
Also, that's a common complaint. I was on the Fourth Wing subreddit. And the funny thing people say is like, it's a rebellion, not a book club. Like, which I really do like. People say that a lot because she's like, so the plan is maybe recap, right? The reason why, because it's been a while since we've talked about it.
Oh yeah.
The reason why Violet and Xaden are on the outs is because Violet, similar to the what we've discussed at length with Vin and Mistborn, there is this pervasive idea in young adult literature, when we talked about this, that the worst possible thing you can be is a hypocrite.
Yep.
And that if you break somebody's, it's not even breaking, the perceived breaking of trust is the worst possible thing you could do to another human being. In this instance, Xaden Ryerson is operating I'm just going to call it what the book calls it, a rebellion. I've learned more about it. I still disagree with calling it. It's closer to maybe what a rebellion is, but it's not. It's still not objectively what it is. Xaden Ryerson is leading this rebellion to try and destroy the zombie wizard army.
Right.
Because they've all been like marked by their previous rebellion, because Xaden's dad led this other rebellion.
Yep. There's
so much at stake where if it is revealed that Xaden is part of this or he's helping the Griffin riders fight I've also learned, just one drop in here, there's a Griffin riding school.
Oh. Are they going to have a friendly competition?
They should somebody else should write those books.
The Triwizard. You know what? There's 100% already a fan fiction of that.
I bet the Empyrean saga, what is it? Trilogy.
Well, it's a trilogy, but there's going to be 2 more.
The Empyrean whatever, I bet has better better AO3 writing than
hands
this
down.
book does. But all that to say, there's a lot writing. The lives of everybody on like fantasy planet Earth ride on this plan working out, and Violet can't get over herself to be like, he doesn't want you to know this because you hang out with the guy who, when he touches you, he can read your mind. And also, the one time you did have any sort of information, he read your mind and your best friend got killed. And she just can't get over that. And the whole time this is happening, she is refusing to tell her college friends what happened because she wants to protect them. Huh?
Protect them.
Isn't that what's happening to you? And you keep doing it? And also, here's a funny thing that happens. She does tell them, and then, I don't know, a chapter later, she's getting tortured and everybody's dying. So whoops.
That happened.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Is that General Cornosh behind me? What's his name? Varish?
General Varish. He's right behind me, isn't he? General Cornosh.
General Cornosh. That's me every Thanksgiving.
Menacingly eating a cob of corn.
That's why he's so gross, because he's always covered in butter. He's like Denethor with the tomatoes. Hot corn dripping down his chin across his swollen clit.
Varish, put that corn away. I could not stand the smell of corn after being tortured by Varish.
You know, in the Return of the King, the movie, you know when Pippin's song?
Yeah, the almost highest pitched song I've ever heard.
Do you know what I always in my head think that song is? It's the one that's like, "Come all ye faithful," and I know that's not right.
Come all ye faithful, A Christmas Carol.
Yes, yeah. And I just think every once in a while I'll be like, why does he sing that Christmas Carol in Denethor's room? That's not what it is. Where we've left off there, I think that's maybe about where as they start getting tortured or whatever.
Yeah, they're going to torture class.
Yeah, they eat a bunch of food. They literally eat like there's like a jam spread. It's like it's like the most biggest beautiful charcuterie board in the world. They're each given a lemonade. And then they go to drink the lemonade, and Violet's like, put the lemonade down. It's got anti-dragon elixir in it. And if you drink the lemonade, we won't be able to do our magic. So they don't drink any lemonade. And the whole time they're like, we're so thirsty.
It was like the prospect of being in that cell and also being thirsty. Maybe that was the real torture.
Being denied lemonade in that cold, dank, and dirty room. So they don't get any lemonade, which
and it's
might
like
be
not
the
a,
worst
it's like
thing.
And they're not at school. It's like some cave
they're
or
in a
like
cave.
Hagrid's hut situation off on
off
on the
campus.
grounds
Off
off campus.
And so the guy tells them the I almost said owner, the professor of poetry. Poetry. Oh my God.
Torture is no fun. Torture hurts someone.
Torture makes
Actually, you
hurt.
can say that poem to Varish, and then he's like A+,
Yeah,
and then
A+,
you can leave.
did it. He tells them. Speaking of that, it's told. The guy, the professor of torture, says like, "Hey, so actually, every year, if you could escape, you can like get. They literally collect like Boy Scout patches.
Bad patches, yeah.
And some of them are classified. So sometimes, and this is kind of a fun thing, you'll like meet a character and they have a patch, and it's like, we don't know what the fuck that is.
That's
because
fun.
nobody knows, and that's fun.
It's fun if any of these patches had anything to do with like, if they move the plot forward, or,
Right, and they don't.
You know?
And also, once they do all escape and they get their patches, somebody's like, "What's that patch?" And it's like, "It's classified. It means we escaped the jail." It's like, what? Why'd you just say that? But yeah, the guy says, he's like, "Well, if you can escape, you get major props." And so the torture. Now, I've never been tortured.
Yeah,
but I have to talk about this. I understand.
This is the practice torture.
The practice torture.
Yeah.
I understand it is a class.
Yep.
But the torture is just like getting punched in the head twice, and then the nurse takes a look at you.
Yeah.
And I understand it's practice,
Yep.
but there are like magic. They bring in somebody who can just tell if you're lying. That's all the magic that lady does. And the guy, I don't think, ever gets said what his magic thing is.
Yeah. It's just weird. It's just like you've said before. It's like just nothing. Like I don't like. What do you?
And
like,
there's a reason why, like the prisoner's dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you and another guy go into jail and you're being interrogated separately.
And this is why they have to choose. They each have to choose a secret, but then also tell each other the secret.
But
and
then they're getting interrogated together.
But then, like, if one of them squeals on the other secret, then they like fail.
Or it's not very clear.
No, it's not clear at all because this book was written in 5 months.
But they do say like it's been some amount of time, and the torturers are like, this is the longest any class has lasted.
And yeah, I swear it's like 2 punches.
I think it is. I think it's what it feels like.
And then everyone. This is another thing when I read this section, and I did not read a lot, but Violet, because it's all first person perspective, it just feels like she is constantly shocked and appalled by the amount of violence taking place in the world.
Yeah.
And
it's really annoying.
When you grow up and your mom's the general of the army and this is like your world, it just comes like, I know the point is like, it's how sensitive she is, or like she just cares about people, but it comes off as like this person is an idiot and super naive.
And also she's killed a tremendous amount of people by this point.
Right.
So like, why is it when you see your friend get punched, it's like the end
or
of
like
the
you get
fucking
punched
world?
in the head and then you're like, this is how could they do this to us? Like they literally kill people for no reason.
I know.
And they're like, oh my God, they're not going to let us drink the lemonade.
I know.
How cruel could they possibly be?
It doesn't, I don't understand. The fact that they're all tortured together doesn't make any sense, because the idea for you to survive torture, if you are a prisoner of war, they're not going to interrogate you all together.
Yeah, they're not like, oh, let's give them some friends.
And literally, they like Violet says something, and one of like the torturers like laughs and then like gets back into character. It's like literally says that, like she smiled and then dropped back into her persona, and it's like, so this is the worst class ever, because you can't even get the students on the same page. But they
also, this is maybe in the grand scheme of things, this is a minor point.
Yeah,
but like a class, if you want to teach people something, first you like teach them about it, and then you run the scenario.
Well, he said they've mentioned that they have read about it, because one of the guys says something like, "Is now a bad time to say I didn't read this section?"
Oh my God. But they're all like, we don't know what to do in this situation.
Right,
It's like,
and
was they were reading?
Well, we don't know. We didn't learn there was like a torture. Like this is all just dropped on us when it's dropped on the
for a school that for a book where the main idea is, oh, it's dragon riding school. The school part is given, it feels like almost zero thought. It's almost like they have to be at classes because we've said this is a school.
Yeah.
But like the classes aren't classes and like no fun school stuff is happening. Like and have you read more of this than I do? It feels like Harry Potter has a more fleshed out like school system than this.
Well, Harry Potter is all classes until the last thing in the book happens.
Yeah.
So like in Philosopher's Stone, obviously they all just go to class and then suddenly they find like a chess game and there's like an evil guy with a turban.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, but the whole time it takes place in the school. And then the second one, the whole thing takes place in the school too, and they find a secret entrance to a place in a bathroom.
Also, to be fair, this is supposed to be a military school, which is different.
Yes, that's true.
However,
but at the end of the day in Harry Potter, is it clear why they are training people to be wizards? Or is that one of the big
I guess
questions?
not. I don't know. They're not. I don't think they're all supposed to be like secret soldiers.
No,
like,
only some of them. Only some of them become what? What are they called? Proctors. Some of them become like
Aurors, the magic
Some
cops,
of them become the cops. Harry Potter famously becomes a
cop.
magic police officer.
Nepo baby.
Famous Nepo baby
becomes cop.
That's like the tagline on an awesome movie, like on the poster. Yeah. So yeah, and you're right. It is a military college, and like people are, but like they don't do this at West Point. That's also a military college.
They're like, we're gonna torture you. Like when they do Navy SEAL training, they tell them they try to practice, but also I guess the school they don't care if they live or die. A fact which shocks and appalls everyone at every point.
Which is stupid, right? Like, so I obviously am not a Navy SEAL and I've not done Navy SEAL training, but they don't torture you in Navy SEAL training. They just put you in like an unwinnable situation. And I've listened to people talk about it, and it's like they're not seeing if you can win. They're just seeing how bad you want to keep going.
Yeah, or like what? It's like pressure training, and like the Navy SEALs also know that.
Yeah.
It's not like the Navy, they're testing them to see if they can escape Navy SEAL training.
Exactly.
It's like, so we don't have to do any more training, and that's the real training. Like, that makes absolutely no sense.
There was this guy I was listening to on, I watch a lot of like Navy SEALs talking about the military on YouTube Shorts because that's just what comes up.
Listen, in the abstract, so former Boy Scout.
Yeah.
In the abstract, current Eagle Scout, technically, everyone.
Whoa.
Once an Eagle Scout, always an Eagle Scout. You have to say, I am an Eagle Scout. And I got to say that for the rest of my life.
That's true?
That's actually true.
Wait, you have to say I am
an
Eagle Scout? My name is Danilo. I am an Eagle Scout.
Every time I introduce myself. Anyway, in the abstract of American imperialism and the meting out of violence against other human beings, the military is pretty cool.
It is, unfortunately, very cool.
Unfortunately, like you take out killing people,
right?
Very cool.
The Enterprise,
the part that makes it uncool is killing people.
Yes, the Enterprise of like intense training to become an elite warrior is objectively cool.
Yes,
the
problem like survival skills and like tools and like, oh, you have this group of people that you're bonded with from doing a difficult thing.
Yeah.
Like,
the problem is it's being used to like kill Iranian school children.
I mean the military exploiting basic human things for the gain of the government. But, anyway,
I was watching this guy was saying, and he is like a YouTube guy. Maybe now that I've learned he's a Navy SEAL, I'm gonna like see a video of his and learn he's also like horrifically right wing. But he just makes like interesting history videos that I watch sometimes, and I found out he was a Navy SEAL. Some of you people might know who I'm talking.
What's
about.
his name?
I don't remember.
Okay.
He's got long hair. He doesn't look like a Navy SEAL.
Okay.
But he was saying that a part of Navy SEAL training, obviously they do a ton of shit, like on a boat to underwater to then on the land, and they do their mission. You know, that's the whole point. One of the big tests is you go down there with your air tank, your instructors swim down and start fucking with it. And so the goal is to fix it, they take it off and you have to hold your breath for 60 seconds before you can start fixing it.
Oh my God.
And the guy was like, I failed it 4 times in a row because as soon as it got even a little bit uncomfortable, I just swam to the top. And if you fail it 5 times in a row, you get kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
And so after the 5th time, I was just like, I'm just going to drown and die or I'm going to do it.
Oh, my
And he
God.
drowned. And when they woke him up, they were like, hey, so we don't really care if you pass. Like,
right.
we don't care if you can put the
They
thing
don't
back
want
together.
them to die.
We can see. Yeah, that's all. I think that's what he said. He's like, so first of all, you didn't have to drown. Second of all, it is nice to see how bad you want this.
Right.
And third, and the guy was like, I don't really tell people this, but the goal isn't to see how you put it back together. It's how you deal with the pressure.
Right. Yeah.
And so that is a torturous experience that is not like you are literally tied to a chair and you give each other secrets. Like a thing would be they're going to go up with their dragons and you're going to fall off.
Yeah.
And like, your dragon is going to keep you, but they're trying to see like if you like scream or like freak the fuck out. Yeah. That's like a similar sort of
It's a test
training.
with a safety net, so you build a skill. But
yeah.
Anyway, and you know what? I know everyone who likes this is saying this right now. That like, oh, this is a romance story or a series. Who cares about the details of this military thing? And I would say, then just write a romance.
Yeah.
Because clearly, because you wanted to write a romance in a fantasy setting where there's a dragon military college, like, okay, let's say the romance is fine. You also have to make sure the dragon military school is fine.
Yeah.
Otherwise, half your thing doesn't work and falls apart.
You put it in the book. And as far as I know, after part 1 of this book, there's no more college stuff. It's over.
I would arguably say good.
Yeah. Because it's the
then like
least
the real
interesting
plot
part.
can happen. Because
Yeah.
it seems like it's getting in the way of the plot. And Rebecca Yarros is like, oh, that's right. They're at fucking school.
It is what it feels like. Well, they have to go back to school at the beginning of this book when it feels like shit's about to pop off. So they get tortured and they escape, and they're like, how are we going to escape? And then the guy they brought with them that can shoot fire out of his hands melts the lock, and so they leave. And then the guy's like, wow, I can't believe you escaped. And he was like, you didn't drink the poison lemonade? And it's like, no, we didn't drink the poison lemonade.
Also, how did she know that the lemonade was
because
poison
she
or
got
something?
turned off. She drank a similar thing when they went on that first exercise in the middle of nowhere
okay.
and were cut off from
and so
the
she like
dragons.
remembered the smell.
Now
or
I
something.
need you to remember this.
Okay.
She knows what this poison smells like.
Uh-huh.
She knows what it tastes like when it touches her tongue.
Oh boy.
I need you to know that she saved everybody from drinking it before.
Okay.
Okay.
So what happens?
So that's much later. I'll get there.
Okay.
So they finish getting tortured. Hang on, I think this is when they go to the class, right? And then with the pamphlet.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So the next day they go to class and there's a pamphlet and there's like 2 pages of like them talking about how like a printing press works for an inexplicable reason. They're like, who could have printed all this so fast?
I think that was one thing I sort of liked.
Oh, interesting.
Because they were like logicking out if this could be real or not, or fake.
Yeah.
Where they're like, okay, so like if this was real and it just happened, where would they find a printing press to do it? And like this is the type of paper, and like because of that, the ink's dry. So then, they totally made this up.
The problem is it's so clear that it's real, and like somebody's trying to let people know.
Yeah, or like, if you're going to be smart in this one situation, then, be smart for the rest of the book.
All of the situations
all of
you're
it.
going to find yourself in. But the guy, so it just says like, it's like these civilians are being killed on the border.
Yeah.
And we're doing nothing to stop it. I think.
And then Violet's like, or someone is like, our government would never do that, would they? As they just escaped from torture, the teenagers class. Oh my God.
They also learned that there's been an attack at the base that Mira, Violet's sister, and Zayden are stationed at.
I remember this.
Violet leaves. She goes AWOL.
Yep, immediately.
Immediately, she gets on her dragon. But the reason is really because her dragon is freaking out.
Yes.
And when we learn in a little bit here, as soon as she gets there, I am very confused why her dragon was freaking out so bad.
Okay, so so the order of events is she freaks out, says, "Oh, the place where Zayden and whoever is at was like attacked and like they're horrifically wounded, whatever." And she's like, "I have to get to them." And so she flies for 8 hours. And the dragon's also worried because they do have a psychic bond, but it's like too far, and the dragon doesn't know.
And like they
also,
can't see it in each other's eyes.
Talk to the dragon. But then they get there and everyone's fine.
Everyone is fine. Even though like Xaden was horrifically injured, and like she sees him and he has like a mark on his arm. And I'm just like, why was he so? Did the dragon not say like he's actually fine? You don't need.
So
to
this
come.
is crazy because so right after this they have the sex scene we talked about in the
Oh
locker
yeah, the
room.
wettest sex scene of all time.
So is the whole thing of why the dragon was freaking out and why
because
she was called?
Horny?
Is that not explained at least in
We
part
didn't
one?
feel it, right? There's no like reveal why the Taryn was freaking out. That's
so
it.
in the rest of the like there's no like the dragon was tricked to go there.
No,
that doesn't happen in the rest of the section.
No,
maybe it happens in the second half of the book
because she doesn't get she gets like in trouble for going AWOL, but that's not why she gets tortured and the whole like the school ends.
You'd think. Here's the thing. I don't know. That's absurd. That's bizarre. Because then why would that situation like that happen when the whole point is your dragons are psychically bonded and can communicate?
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
So how would a misunderstanding like that ever happen?
I don't know. But it does. So they get there and it's fine. I mean, like, there's injured people and, you know, like there's some parapets are perhaps.
One Zane was like, we fought them off easily.
Yeah. And later in the book, he literally says, he's like, the only reason I almost got my arm chopped off was because I hesitated for a sec. Because remember, he's like supplying the Griffin riders with these daggers. He says to somebody at a rendezvous, he's like, literally the only reason why we almost lost even a little bit was because I thought it was one of you, and I went up to try to say hi, and they chopped my arm off. What are you looking up?
So because you're not finished with the book, I simply must know if like this is a plot hole.
Yeah.
Or if this is something that explains.
I think it's just to get them there to have sex with each other. Oh, it's because the professor like touches the left side of her neck. That's where Xaden's mark is.
Yeah.
She's like she says somebody was really horribly injured, and she goes like this. And she goes like this and looks at Violet. She's like, oh my God.
And she thinks that means Xaden was horribly wounded.
Which he was wounded, but he's fine.
And psychic dragons does not.
Well, they are far. That is like a point of conflict, is that their connection is not as strong because they're so far away from each other.
Anyway, I can't find some sort of answer. It's like
it's
weird.
A terrible novel. It doesn't matter.
It's just I just can't believe like that's the hugest plot hole in the world.
I know. It's to get them together so that they can be full of such like lustful energy that she can talk about her swollen clit or whatever.
So yeah, they have a sex scene in a bubble.
Oh, hang on. I forgot to say this. I think you maybe started reading right before this. She has like literally a dream where she's like, oh, I need to, like a guy in the dream is like, I'm one of the guys who made the 6 ward stones and you have to find my ancient text.
Or there's some, oh my God, this also happened. And when authors do this, it is, I think, a mark of bad writing. Nothing's happening. There's no stakes. And so the next chapter starts as if something violent is happening in real life, and then it ends and she woke up from a dream.
Yeah.
And it was just her having a bad dream.
Yeah.
That is the dumbest, weakest bullshit.
It's because you got to inject life into your
right. Because like, you know, it's boring, and it's like, but then it's like a fake battle where she like gets wounded, and like even you're reading it, I'm like, this isn't real. Like, who is this for? Because like everyone knows it's like this is either a dream or it's not real, but like it's not happening all of a sudden. And then she woke up, and then like it's like it never happened. It's just so dumb.
It's the problem I have, and I believe Scott Aukerman talks about this on the Scott Hasn't Seen of Comedy Bang Bang fame. That dream sequences are often stupid and pointless, and are just like there to pad time.
Oh, completely.
Because unless it is something like a dream ballet, like the actual. It is a certain type of dream sequence, but it's usually just it is communicating the theme or general plot stuff of what's happening that if the thing you're writing is good, you don't need.
Or if you want something exciting to happen, but
while boring stuff is happening.
But also you don't want anything to change.
Right.
You don't want anything with stakes.
Somebody can go through unbelievable character growth and then wake up.
Right. And then it doesn't matter. Yeah. So it's authors being afraid of plot, and we've talked about like
I think
a lot of these sorts of mass market stuff. Like Brandon Sanderson has some spots like this too, where it seems like they're allergic to plot because then if something happens, they have to deal with the results of the thing happening.
Yeah.
And like that is inconvenient or it gets them off of their outline or, or they just have to pad time until the next big thing happens because they know once the next big thing happens, then like shit's going to be wrapping up.
Yep.
And we need to hit a page count.
During this class is when Jack Barlow makes his grand entrance and people stand up to greet him like Jimmy Carter is on an airplane, which I think is really cool.
Well, and then that happens, and then the whole Violet thing happens.
Yeah.
And she says something to the effect of like, well, it's going to have to deal with him coming back from the dead later.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
So she goes
in a normal novel, that would someone coming back from the dead in a book where death is a big deal would be a bigger deal.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I guess we never saw him die. This is like a
got killed off screen.
Yeah, killed off screen.
We didn't see him. We only saw him covered by a mountain.
Right.
Who knows what sort of air pockets were under all that rubble.
And it's just I have a hard time believing everybody, and I talked about this last time, that all of these morons in this book are capable of keeping any sort of secrets from each other at all. Like, how did you not? Like, what a weird. I guess what I'm trying to say is that was the last thing I was expecting, because who cares about Jack Barlow? Like, he was a perfectly fine foil to her. Her becoming this ultra powerful like mage.
It's because random stuff has to happen that feels important to make it feel like plot is happening when really it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. But she ends up at this fort, and Xaden is there, and he's fine, and he's training with Garrick, who is a character I actually like.
I could not believe it.
I like Garrick, and so whenever I see Garrick, I get excited.
Okay, good.
They're brothers. And,
Garrick and Xaden?
I think so.
Okay.
Or they're cousins. I think they're related. They're sparring. Violet is super mad at him because he's like totally fine. And then she sees that he actually...
Why would she be... First of all, listen, I know emotions are high and your adrenaline rush, but it does say she flew for 8 hours.
Yeah.
And at some point, dragons are within psychic distance.
Right.
And you would think. And so you would know they would communicate.
You're fine, go back.
Oh, big adrenaline rush, 8 hours flying. You'd sort of calm down a little bit maybe.
Yeah.
But I guess not. Not for Violet.
She's really pissed. Oh, she's so like dragon pilled that Xaden like gives her a Joe Rogan cold plunge. Do you remember this? She's like so filled with like the dragon energy of needing to get there that she's like literally about to explode of magic, and he's like,
"Oh, that's
come
what
here."
that was.
And then
so
puts
funny.
her into like a shower and turns on the cold water, and she's like, it's cold.
She's sort of like an anime protagonist.
She is.
No. Xaden.
But they turn on the hot water. Thank God. It was the coldest chapter I've ever read.
This is a public shower, by the way. Public locker room.
It is a public locker room, but he magically locks the door.
Oh, he does lock the door.
Yeah.
I missed that part. Okay. Phew. Because the whole time I'm like, guys, someone's walking in.
They start kissing each other, and then they do this thing that they keep doing where Xaden is being nice, and she's like, just fuck me already, you big oaf. And so they do. She grabs his throbbing member through his sweatpants, and he's like, ugh.
I don't know if I finished the whole sex scene. And like, yeah, there's parts of it that don't.
He comes inside her. Right. I just need to say that.
Oh, yeah, they do. Then they have a plan B conversation.
Yeah. They have the hills look like white. The hills are white elephants.
It's that whole conversation just copy pasted in there.
Yeah.
Should we? I don't know if this is gonna play.
Read it.
Should we read it as if we're Xaden and Violet?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
All right, folks. This might be cut, but we're trying to do bits on the podcast now. Oh no, it's kind of long. Oh, wait,
or at least a part of it. Let's see if it applies at all. I don't think so. Dos cervezas.
So okay, hold on. Let's give it a shot. We'll see how far we can get this.
All right, who do you want to play?
I can be Violet.
Okay.
I'm also going to try to read the beginning paragraph and see if I can substitute things for.
Oh, that's good. That is good. Yeah, I want you to try to remember.
I haven't read them. You ready?
Yeah.
The hills across the valley of the Navarre were long and white.
That's already wrong.
Something on this side, there were no shade, no trees on the station. Between the two lines of rails in the sun. Are there trains?
No.
No. Okay. Close against the side of the Dragon Station, there was
there
the
you go.
shadow of the building and a curtain made of string of bamboo. There's their bamboo.
There might be bamboo.
Bamboo beads on across Obrador keep out flies.
I don't think there's flies.
There
are Americans.
There are Americans. Okay. The Navarian and the girl with him sat.
No, the Tirish.
Oh, the Tirish and the girl with him sat at a table in the shade outside of the building. It was very hot, and the express from
Tirandor?
So this says Tirandor?
Yeah.
The express from Tirandor would come in 40 minutes. It stopped at this junction for 2 minutes and went on to Basgayath. What should we drink? The girl asked. She had taken off her hat and put it on. She had taken off her riding leathers and put it on the table.
That's really good. It's pretty hot. The man expunged.
Instead of said. Very
Instead
good.
of said.
Let's drink beer.
Dose lemonades. The man.
Big ones?
Yes. 2 big ones.
The woman brought 2 glasses of lemonades and 2 felt pads.
So felt pads exist?
Is that like a coaster?
I think so.
Okay.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I thought this was more dialogue.
So, me too. I also remember it as dialogue, which is why I want to talk about it.
Uh-huh.
So Hemingway, sometimes when we talk about these books and I say things like, okay, so when I try to compare it to Ernest Hemingway, I need you to know, I need you listening to know that I read all kinds of books. Okay. I think most Hemingway short stories are bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there's 8 billion of them. The Hills Like White Elephants is not only Hemingway's, well, in my opinion, Hemingway's best short stories, maybe top 5 short stories ever written.
Sure.
Just that little bit is so much more compelling than anything in this book. And if you don't know, and if you are in an English course in college, this might give you a leg up if you're listening. You might read this like I did in my 401 before I dropped out of college. And we were told to guess what the fuck they could possibly be talking about.
Yes, and we did this exact same thing, but I did it in high school.
Oh, nice.
In a high school English class.
So if you're waiting for that, we're here to tell you, in The Hills Like White Elephants, they're talking about an abortion.
Yep.
And they never say it. They never say it once. They don't even really make mention to it. It's just 2 people dealing with a problem. But I think, if you are closely reading it, it is obvious to me that is what they are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And how incredible is this piece of writing that it is obvious what they're talking about. What is unsaid is what's being said the whole time. And every single thing out of a character's mouth in Iron Flame is the most literal possible thing they're feeling in the moment.
Well, and it's also some subtext, but I mean, here it's the man at some point says it's really an awfully simple operation. It's not really an operation at all.
Yeah.
And so you're like, okay, what operation are you talking about? And they're talking about some sort of operation, medical thing. Anyway, yeah.
So they this is pretty fun. This is the first sex scene we've both read.
Yes.
Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
But you may not have finished it.
No, I didn't finish. Well, I think I got to the end because they had the Plan B conversation. There's some things that took me out. But all in all, it was not as jarring as I think other things in the book.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't find it particularly. Maybe because I'm a fucking pervert. I did not find it as unenjoyable to read as because there's because when 2 characters are having sex, there's no plot things to get in the way. There's no they can be hokey and but that's fine. But you're not why is the answer to torture class to escape torture class?
I think my problem is that their first sexual reunion happens in a YMCA shower.
After a weird misunderstanding that makes no sense.
I was hoping it would be more romantic.
Right.
I think the dialogue with the I love you and stuff is pretty romantic, but the setting, even the guy, Zayden is we can go to my bedroom. And I was like, please go to your bedroom. Don't do it here.
Yeah. And she said no, even though, I'm all for women's sexual liberation.
I'm all for voyeurism in a bathroom. Don't get me wrong.
But if Violet's whole thing is she doesn't want to have sex with him until he proclaims his love to her, the second they're like in a shower. She's like, okay, so I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
Feels very.
It is strange, I think.
It is strange if that's her whole character thing. And like, you know what? I understand losing your willpower in the moment,
Sure.
but that's not what happens.
No.
She's not like, against my better judgment,
No,
or
there's no regret.
Yeah, there's no like, I can't believe I did that because
Yeah.
I'd said it was this thing and I don't want this to happen because of X, Y, and Z. Like that would be interesting. It's just like, hey babe, so I
Yeah,
came
so we're
inside
gonna
of you, so we need to get the plan B or whatever.
And then they
what
go-
do they say? What's their plan? It's like, I know a spell or something.
They don't say anything like that.
They don't talk about it.
No,
Don't they?
he just comes inside her.
No, isn't after they have some conversation?
There is
don't they?
no way.
So I could be making this up.
There is no way. They have a conversation about they can do 3 things. 2 of them are have sex again, or the third one is advance the plot, and they do that.
That's funny. Oh, I do remember that. Maybe I'm putting my
oh.
own logic onto it.
Oh, and Zayden's a nice guy. He lets her come first, and then he really,
He read that book. She comes first.
he starts he really starts clapping them cheeks. Yeah, he comes. I push back into every thrust, swiveling my hips and savoring the shout he lets loose when he finally shudders beneath me, his shadows blasting through the room.
Oh, this is another thing. This happens in such a trope of this like magic fantasy. Anytime they're having sex, like they're having such passionate sex, the powers can't be controlled.
Right.
Like her lightning is crackling, and this happens with Feyre and whatever, where like, she starts glowing or exploding or bursting into flame or whatever.
But Zayden blasts shadow rope everywhere. He says, fuck. She's like, yeah. They say, what do we do now? And then he just says, we can stay here and go again. We can get dressed, sneak up to my room and go again, or we can clean up, find a water wielder to dry our clothes, get you into my flight jackets, and fly to the rendezvous point to drop the daggers. And they do that.
So there was no mention
plan B
of
conversation.
Interesting,
But he does. I do wonder, is she going to be pregnant?
I don't know.
Because I don't remember it being so obvious that he, and I hate to say it, gave her a cream pie the other times. But this time is very obvious.
Yep.
To me. I mean, maybe that's not important. Maybe there's not.
Maybe
that's never going to be brought up
again. It was
again.
all a dream.
But it's like, I don't know. Will she be pregnant with some sort of shadow baby?
A shadow lightning baby.
Also, how do we feel that the only brown-skinned individual in the book has shadow magic? What do we think about that?
Is that Zayden?
He might not be the only one, but he
Okay.
certainly is the main one.
Interesting. That's just interesting, I think.
I think that's interesting, and it's not worth talking about.
Something to point out.
Yeah. So they go drop some daggers for some Griffin riders, and they meet Zayden Ryerson's ex-girlfriend.
Oh my God. Has this person been mentioned before?
Once earlier in the book. Earlier in the book, a character says like, "Oh my God, this is like what happened with Katrina." It's not her name, but whatever it is. And she's like, "Who?" And then they just move on, and we meet her.
You know what? Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, he gets around.
Also, like, make it be about this. We want it to be like Maury, where like exes come out and people are getting pregnant.
You
and,
are
like,
not the shadow baby's father. Oh my God! Thank God.
But yeah, just have it be this.
I
don't know. We don't need them to talk about copy paper or torture class and lemonade.
No.
Oh man.
Can this metaphor I think is really good. I'm sure I've heard it before, but I thought this was actually good where I stopped and I was like, where the fuck was this?
Okay, so we have to let's point this out. We are not just haters.
No.
We are haters,
Yeah.
but we are fair. We try to be fair. I wanted to point that out before Mac reads this section.
They're on a dragon and they're flying, right?
Mm-hmm.
The dragon says something to make her laugh, and she says, "The wind steals my laughter."
That's beautiful.
I thought that was
great.
I was like, what the fuck? Where? And I wonder deep down, when Rebecca Yarros doesn't have to write a book with all of this crazy shit, is it just the parts that I don't hate about
that
this?
are like nice.
And should I just?
I
be reading
hope
that?
so. I also
would
think,
hope so.
You know what? Everyone who's watching, listening, don't write a book in 5 months.
Don't
Just
write
don't.
a book in 5 months.
First draft in 5 months. Yes.
Yeah. Finished second novel.
in a series with an overarching story with world building.
Yeah.
No,
don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't also
at least a year.
Don't take
and
20
you know what?
years to write it.
Yeah,
but
and you know what? Like Brandon, you can put a progress bar for the draft on your
you
website.
You can. You're allowed to.
You're allowed to do that. It's been done before. But don't do it in 5 months.
And you got to give it to him. We're not Brandon Sanderson's biggest fans, but at least stuff feels. Now I haven't read these most recent Stormlight books. Stuff feels like it's happening.
They've gotten progressively worse.
Yeah,
and like less stuff is happening, and that's people's biggest complaint.
He's just doing He finished the Wheel of Time, so he's doing the slog. Maybe it's all on purpose. It's meta commentary.
The whole fourth book of Stormlight is they keep getting longer. And the whole fourth book is a siege. Yep.
I wonder, because I remember, and you haven't read them, I think A Feast for Crows, half of it is just like Jaime Lannister being like, how am I going to end this siege? But I found it compelling.
So here's the thing. It's compelling when the characters are compelling.
When I liked the
But
characters.
I would also say one of Brandon Sanderson's strengths is not the depth and interestingness of his characters.
It might be
he's said this explicitly in his lectures. He takes a trope and then tries to make it more specific for his purposes, which is a way of writing.
Yeah.
I don't think they get specific enough.
Yeah.
They do end up sort of just feeling like tropes.
Yeah. And it might not be fair to compare some of Brandon Sanderson's characters to Jaime Lannister, maybe one of the most compelling fantasy characters of all time.
But Kaladin's this is a tangent.
We're back.
But Kaladin is for 5 books depressed.
Yeah, I know.
He's the depressed guy.
Yeah.
And I understand there's maybe something to be said about mental health is a long-term process and struggle.
Boring.
But also, when that's your only character trait, and you're like, I'm so depressed, but I have to keep going, and that happens at the end of every book.
It's like that A Little Life book. It's like suicide porn.
Right. Because then all of Rhythm of War, it's a siege, and oh, look, Kaladin's depressed again, but the setting is a siege.
Right.
And you're like, why do I care about
what
this?
could he get triggered by in a siege?
Right, exactly. And I think there's a reason that Brandon Sanderson made his magic system literally character development.
Yeah, that is true.
Where you level up your magic by doing character development so that, didn't you see? He said the words and became more powerful. That's character development, and he has new powers now.
Yeah.
Which, props to Brandon Sanderson for figuring out a way to turn his strength, convoluted magic systems, into something that I would say is one of his weaknesses, which is character development.
Yeah.
But
that
it's
is also
kind of boring.
Just video games. It's how you level up in a video game.
Yep.
You explore areas. You assume your digital character is learning new things. You level up. So
Anyway,
he's a genius. So they deliver some blades to these losers, and you learn that's Zayden Ryerson's ex-girlfriend. Whatever.
What's her deal? Is she sassy, or
she really wants to jump him? She wants to jump his bones. Well, I mean, who doesn't though? He's he's
who broke up with who?
Man on the world. We don't know.
Damn.
Catriona is her name.
You know what? I'll say this shamelessly. This is why I'm excited to read more romance books when we don't have all this fantasy stuff to pick apart. Because I love sordid
me too.
Drama among people that's just feels like gossip. I love that shit.
Yeah.
We just need a book that's that.
If only I wish it, I do wish it was more in here. It's really not. So they just leave. They drop the daggers off and they leave. But this is seen as a big thing because it's I'm showing you we're doing it's not a dead drop, but we're doing a dead drop. They go back to school and everybody is pissed, but they're able to kind of write it off she was possessed by her dragon to go, and General Varys is trying to get Commandant Varys is trying to get any excuse to kill her or
of course,
whatever.
And he couldn't even do it in the torture scenario.
No, he couldn't do it in the torture scenario.
In a school where children are dying all the time, the principal can't find a way to kill a random girl.
Yeah. There's this nice moment where she's feeling very jealous, and Taryn is like, hey, you're also a good person. You shouldn't feel jealous. You're pretty cool. Which is nice. She gets stopped by Varys. She's wearing Zayden's jacket, because if you remember, they got soaking wet. So she has Zayden's nice jacket that has one of the magical daggers in it, and she shows up to her room, and the commandant is standing there, and they're like, search her. And she's like, oh my God, you're going to find the dagger, and then you're going to know that we've been stealing the daggers because I'm wearing Zayden's coat.
Is the commandant in her room? Because I thought famously no one could go in her room.
Outside
Okay,
of her room.
okay,
Like just blocking her from being able to get in her room.
Got it. Great.
She, like, people are like opening the door to see what the commotion is, and she notices like all of her friends are in the room next door because she's Violet's been missing, like she just left. And so they're all in this room next door. One of the people has this power of like they can like teleport stuff, you know?
Sure.
And so she like kind of like looks at the dagger and looks at her and is like, hey, could you maybe do something? And when they go to search her, they don't find the dagger.
Nice.
And she goes in the room and they're holding the dagger. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Like, I didn't know you could do that magic. And she's like, well, I couldn't until I like saw that you were in trouble. And so
okay,
I could do it. And then they're like, why do you have this dagger? And Violet's like, guys, I've got a story to tell you.
Oh, no.
And so Violet tells them everything. She tells them everything. Also, do you remember the king's...
Proving Zayden correct?
Yes. The king's...
Oh, my God.
The king's son snuck into Dragon Rank.
Yep,
school.
I remember this.
Earlier in this section, he's like in a part of the school he's not supposed to be. And he sees Violet, and he's like, so what are we going to do about these Venom, huh? And she's like, what did you just say? And he's like, why do you think I'm here? And then, like, walks away. And I was like, that's awesome. Because that's all he says. He's like, God, you're stupid. Like, why would I be here if not to try to figure this out, like, from the inside? Which I thought was, I was like, oh, so I'm excited to see him get involved.
So ostensibly that means, like, the king knows about the Venom threat.
Why it's kind of a rebellion.
Okay.
Because they are rebelling. They need to fight the bad guys, and they need to oust this evil king somehow, because for whatever reason, he's letting the bad guys run amok over the whole world. But Navarre is safe because they have these magical wards. They can't get in.
Okay, yeah.
The problem is that they want to make more wards and push the Venom out. You know what I mean?
Sure.
The magical daggers can kill them, but like you have to stab one.
Our platform is wider wards.
Violet Sorrengail's platform is a strong border policy. It just is.
And you know, instead of killing the migrants when they come in, let's just not let them in, so then we don't have to kill them.
Yeah, it's not clear. I'm sort of waiting for, like, are the Venom just bad guys, or do they have some sort of like point
Ethnicity. So
she tells them everything. They're like, okay, we need a plan. And right away they go into plan, and they develop a really good plan. And Violet's a little bit like, fuck. Like, I've kind of been doing all this work myself. Like, I should have probably told you sooner. Because one of the guys literally goes, she's like, I've been searching the archives. And one of the guys like, what about the secret archives that are under the archives? And she's like, what did you just say? And he's like, yeah, do you think that there's just like normal archives? Has to be secret ones. And she's like, but my friend in the scribe quarter didn't tell me about them. And it's like, do you think she was going to tell you fucking everything? And they're like, okay, so how are we going to get in there? Surely they're protected by the king's wards. We need somebody with the king's blood to help us get in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so they find his real name is Cam. I can't remember what his fake assumed name is.
Sure.
But Zayden shows up, and Zayden's like, you told them everything? Like, literally everything?
Hopefully, I say this in the nicest way, hopefully the upcoming tortures some self-reflection into this woman.
Also, this whole time, Andarna, the dragon, is still asleep. She's not waking up, and it's weird.
That's the golden one, right? The smaller one,
yeah.
Yeah, because if there was another dragon, that would make the plot more confusing and complicated.
Yeah. They talk about their plan, and they're like, oh, we have to go to the quarter. We have to go to, like, the scribe zone now. And, like, time is sort of all over the place. Like 3 months pass in, like, 3 pages.
What?
It's all over the place.
Okay.
So they're like reading these books and they're studying and they can't find anything. And then they're like, okay, we need somebody to get in there and help us. We need to go ask Jacinia, the scribe we know, about the secret scribe quarters. Or no, she has like this book they've been looking for. And Violet's like, I'll go. And they're like, no, you can't go. You have guard duty. And if you keep fucking pissing everybody off and not doing what you're supposed to be doing, we're going to get into big trouble. So just let me do it. So the guy goes and does it. She goes up to relieve the guard on guard duty. They have like a 2-minute conversation and they turn around.
Has she had guard duty before?
No. At least that we haven't seen. Presumably she's had to do this.
Oh my God.
And then the door like explodes off its hinges and like a bunch of like the military are there, like infantrymen. And the epigraph,
yeah,
at the beginning of the chapter, is like, anybody who enters a rider's quadrant that isn't a rider, you can kill them. And it's like, and so a bunch of military people show up and you're like, oh, well, I read earlier that they'll be able to sort this out. They do, they're like, we're going to kill you guys. And she says, let me guess, secrets die with the people who kill them, because that's what the Dane's dad said to, and that's what the guy who tried to kill her on the thing said. And they're like, what? And she says, it's not as original as you'd think. And then they start whooping ass. The guard that she came to relieve gets killed instantly, and like 4 people just like start like whooping Violet's ass. I want to read this out loud because I was so confused as to the action that's happening here. Okay?
I will also say this from a writing perspective, action writing. At some point, things have to start a different way than they happen all of a sudden out of nowhere.
Yes. Yeah.
That's not the only way things can happen in a book, because that gets
very
old very quickly.
Here.
And it's like we said before, it's like fake excitement.
Yeah. Yes. No, I slice at his arms, but he holds fast despite the wounds. I kick hard in his stomach and he sputters, and with the next kick, he releases me. My momentum sends me flying backward, and my daggers scrape both sides of the turret's crenellations as I skid towards the edge, my feet kicking under me and finding nothing but air. Fast. It's happening too fast to do anything to react. Instinct takes over, and my hands splay wide against the side of the crenellations, releasing the daggers. Clawing for purchase.
The crenellations were releasing the daggers?
Sides of the crenellations, releasing the daggers.
Okay.
Clawing for purchase, I sail backward, my skin grating against the rock to slow me down as I do, and the tips of my boots hit the edge of the turret, then slip right off. But the impact is enough to change the angle of my fall, and stone rushes up at my face for no longer than a heartbeat before my stomach collides with the edge of the turret, stealing what breath I have on impact. My weight drags me the rest of the way backward, and I dig in with my fingernails and hold as my lower half kicks against the crevices in the stonework beneath me, looking for a foothold. So by the end, she's holding on to something. But she says she was kicking and her feet were finding nothing but air earlier, and so I thought she was already, and then she falls down, and so it's like a tower.
So that's like 300 words to say she slid and almost fell off the edge and grabbed the edge.
Right.
Oh my God.
But it sounds like she falls off of something. She says stone rushes up to meet me. So is the tower is it the tower, and then there's like a turret below the tower, and so she falls a little bit out, then she like skids and falls and then tries to grab onto the edge?
I don't know. I think when you don't write a book in 5 months, these sort of things are cleared up. Because I know I've written things where like you're typing and you're like, this makes perfect sense in my head, and then you read it later and you're like, okay, so what's happening? Because like in your head when you're writing, you can see it, and so that what you're writing matches up with what you see, so it's like it makes sense. But when you're not seeing it and you're reading it, like different stuff is required. Also, that doesn't have to be that long, and like any action scene where you're like, the left hand went here and the right hand came back with force, and the left, and then the feet, and then I slid and then I came back, and then that's not exciting. It's confusing to imagine.
What I'm confused by, so I'm sure you know what crenellations are, but I'm going to show you a picture. Okay?
Yes.
Crenellations on a tower are those things, right? If you've ever played a fantasy video game or whatever.
The things on the end of a castle walls that look like teeth.
Yes. A turret is the tower.
The round tower.
And crenellations could be on top of the tower.
Yes.
But it makes it seem like there's a tower with crenellations, and then below it, there's just like another tower with like a parapet.
Also, are you
I don't know where she's sliding.
if you slide and there's crenellations, the crenellations stop your slides, surely.
The crenellations are not there for you to fall through. They're there for you to shoot arrows through. So
Yeah,
how
they're
did you
not-
fall through? Is she like Flat Stanley?
She's so tiny.
She got turned into Flat Stanley.
She's so tiny she can fall through crenellations. You think we should write a fantasy series where Flat Stanley infiltrates castles through like the arrow slits?
Yeah, and this is a series, you think?
This is a series. This is
Every book is a different tower.
Song of Ice and Fire. Yeah, every book is one different tower. And they all start with Flat Stanley.
And these books are long. They're going to be long. And they're going to be flat, but they're going to be long.
They're going to be long. They're going to be large format.
There's going to be a full-length book, but it's technically one sheet of paper.
And Flat Stanley fucks in these books.
Oh, yeah. He fucks 3D women, too, because he's the only flat guy.
So he has pull because he's the only flat guy.
All these normal losers around here are three-dimensional, but you're flat.
And no, his dick isn't thick.
His dick
is flat, but he knows how to use it.
It's not the size of the boat.
Flat
it's the
Stanley
motion of
is
the
an
ocean.
adult in this scenario.
He's an adult. We're making Flat Stanley an adult.
An adult, and he's Sir Flat
He's
Stanley.
Sir Flat Stanley, and he has sex with busty women. Okay.
After slipping into towers,
He
and
slips-
every book starts the same way. He sees a tower.
He wakes up.
And he says, "I wonder if there's a tower I can slip into today." And he goes to the tower.
Yeah.
And he is like, "I don't know if I can slip into that one. Let's see." And then
Let's
he does
find another
it.
tower.
And then he has sex with a woman
Yes,
at
and he
a
has
tavern.
sex with a woman. Yeah, so he just does it. He doesn't steal. No, this is important. He doesn't steal or take anything from these
He just
towers.
wants to
He wants
see
to
if he
get
can
in there.
He just wants to see if he can get in
And then he
there.
leaves and he pays for a prostitute at a tavern. And then he
And
goes
gets
to sleep.
belligerently drunk.
And then he goes to sleep, and then he wakes up, and it starts all over. And there are differences. Maybe it's raining in the second book. Maybe it's really raining in the third book.
Maybe the eighth book he like plane shifts to like a vampire world or something.
Oh yeah, and he's like, there's no way I can get into these towers. He plane shifts into the vampire world. He's 3D. The towers are flat. Oh my god! And the women are 2D.
It's like Bob Dylan going electric. Flat Stanley goes 3D.
It was the worst mistake he could have made.
They hated him for it. They booed him at the Newport Folk Festival.
We loved you because you were two-dimensional, Stanley. What did you do?
And then he had a long, storied career as a 3D
My
knight.
God. In a vampire realm.
Vampire realm. Well, there's no arrow slits because
There's
it's
no
like
arrow
Gothic
slits.
towers.
But anyway, she's hanging from a parapet. A guy is literally trying to prick her fingers off, and he's like, he starts to maybe feel a little guilty. He's like, "Oh, can't you just let go? Like, we're just getting paid
She's
to do
so
this."
small. She just slid right through that crenellation.
And then just like a knife exits this guy's throat,
Classic.
and a hand reaches down, and it's Jack Barlow
oh, from the dead.
from the dead, and he lifts her up.
This world's Jesus Christ.
Yes, yes, of course. He lifts her up, and he's like, "Violet," and he's like, "Oh, I didn't really know it was going to be you up here. I just saw like people fucking something up here, and so I was like, oh, maybe I should go try to help." But he's like, he kind of makes a joke. She's like, "You don't want to kill me?" And he's like, "Well, I mean, not in this moment right now. Like, I could just throw you off the tower, and we could just do this again." And she's like, "No." And they kind of just laugh at each other. And then Xaden shows up. This is where, and they're like, "Jack, help me." And he's like, "Yeah." And then Jack just leaves. And Xaden shows up, and this is where Violet's like, "I told them everything." And he's like, "Oh my God." He like buries his head in his hands, and she's like, "Why aren't you saying anything?" And he's like, "I'm trying to think. I'm trying to put the words in the right order about how upset I am at this."
Because of course I can't believe it. You know, but also, you know what? Sure.
Yeah.
Props to Rebecca Yarros for making something happen.
Yeah, yeah. So they
Something with stakes has occurred,
finally,
no matter how dumb and silly.
they they developed this plan, like I said, with this king's son. Xaden killed this guy's brother, so they hate each other. But he agrees because he's like, the only person I hate more than Xaden is my dad, so if we're going to steal from my dad, I'm in. And so they sneak into the scribe quarter. The plan is to go into the secret king-protected ward vault and just hopefully find something that will let them know how they created these 6 wards originally so that they can maybe do it again.
Sure.
They go in there. It's kind of fun. They're sneaking around. It gets a little confusing here.
What? No way.
Again. Well, one thing is they get to the door, like the magic protected door, and the king, this kid, his name is Aaric, Aaric. Aaric.
Great.
Aaric.
Yeah.
Just like grabs Violet and like sprints in through the wall, and she like almost dies.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, did you know that was going to work really before you pulled me in there? Like it wasn't just going to kill me? And he was like, well, no, but we're sort of on a timer and I'm the only one who can go in there. So, and I need your help to read these books. Like it's going to go way faster with 2 of us. And Xaden is pissed at this.
Yeah, because she could have just died. Again, fake excitement.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to kill him. She says, then you'd be responsible for the death of 2 princes. Okay. So they're looking for these books, and they're on a time limit. They have 45 minutes because, like, the door opens, which would allow the king, like, 45 minutes to go in, peruse what he wants, take it out, and then
go
leave.
out. And if they're in there, they just get locked in there?
The door closes, yeah.
Okay.
The door closes, and it will not be allowed to magically open again for 12 more hours.
Okay.
So they would be trapped in there, but it sets off an alarm anyway. So they'd be like, well, when the door opens, they're just going to be like, guys, they're ready to kill us all.
Okay.
So either we get trapped in here, they open the door and we die. We get out and there will be guards waiting and we die, or we'll get out and it'll be fine. Like
45 minutes is a very funny. Do they say 45 minutes?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Here is why it's so confusing, because they say 45 minutes and like a page goes by and they're like 10 minutes are left. And it's like that. They said like 2 lines of dialogue to each other. It took 30 minutes. And then there's like 4 pages and a character's like 8 minutes left. And it's like, there's no like organization or whatever, but they can't figure out where the books are because they search everything and the books are nowhere.
The books about the wards.
She's trying to remember, like, where would they keep them? Where would they keep them, like, away from the light? Because the room is lit up. And there's a table with nothing on it.
Mm-hmm.
But they remove the tablecloth, and there's, like, this weird sort of mirror goop in the middle of the table.
Okay.
And the books are in the goop. And it's, like, protected from the light. It's, like, dark in there. It's, like, magic goop.
Okay.
Because wherever they could put these books, it was going to be exposed to the light in some way.
Right.
So it's magically protected. And it's a ward. And so this guy is like, well...
The goop is a ward?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guy is like, oh, I should be able to get in there. And he puts his hands in there, and they just, like, explode into, like, blood blisters, and he's, like, screaming, and he pulls them out.
The king's son?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, so technically I am allowed to, like, do that, but it was very clear that one is specifically for one guy. And the only reason I didn't just die instantly is because I'm related to him.
Okay.
And that, like, triggers an alarm that
Sure.
they did that, and they narrowly escape. They run out. They're like, okay, so you're gonna really need to hide your hands because they're gonna look. They must know about that, and so they're gonna look for the guy with fucked up hands. They also don't know you're the king's son,
right? But also it would narrow it down because like the alarm went off because someone stuck their hand in there,
in the king only entrance area. So it had to be,
and they're still alive because there's no body there.
Right.
Yeah. So it's narrowed down to one person.
So, but they don't know, like the people who run the school don't know that the king's son is here.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, so you have blisters everywhere, but we're going to bandage it. Like, those aren't like magical blisters. Those are normal blisters. They will go away. But we just need time for your hands to heal. So he's like, okay.
Go to the guy who's not tired anymore.
That's what they do because they can trust him. And so they're like, okay, bring him and like some other guys in here because they owe me a favor from the first book. I don't remember what. So they leave, they exit. Nolan is there, the guy who's not tired anymore. And he's like, God, you must be thirsty. Here's some lemonade. And she's like, thank God. And she drinks the lemonade.
You have got to be kidding me.
She just drinks the lemonade and she passes out. She just drinks the lemonade. I couldn't believe, as soon as it was like, you look thirsty, I brought you some lemonade. I was like, do not drink the lemonade. Please.
Holy
Please, for the love of God, don't drink the lemonade.
But they could trust him.
They could trust him.
Why could they trust him?
Because he's been like helpful, and everybody who is evil in the book is like comically evil.
Looks evil.
So he's been nice.
Everyone who's nice is nice.
When he was healing them in the torture chamber, he was like, I really hate this General Varish guy.
Okay.
And to be fair to him, like if all you're being fed is the propaganda about the world, you can easily spin what they're trying to do, and that they're trying to like destroy the wards and like allow the monsters in.
Yeah.
And so Varish presumably told Nolan that's what was happening. Right. And he sees she's literally holding a scribe bag full of books like in the middle of the courtyard. And he's like, son of a bitch. Because he gets, when she wakes up, she's like, how did you even know I had him in there? He was like, if you didn't have the one book we were looking for in your bag, you would have woken up in the hospital and I would have explained that it was all a misunderstanding. But instead, she wakes up tied to a chair in the torture room.
Okay.
And Varish is like, so now we're going to do it for real.
Wait, so this is not the book that was in the goop. This was another.
It is.
Oh, it is. So they got the goop.
There were 2 books in the goop. Zayden has one of them.
Uh-huh.
She has the other one.
Oh, so his hand had blisters, but he got the goop out.
Yeah,
or he got the book out.
He got the
I thought they
No, they didn't fail.
I thought they didn't get the book out.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
no,
okay.
they succeed.
They got the books out.
They succeed. She starts getting tortured, and like now this is real torture. Like,
sure,
Varish like is breaking her fingers one by one.
Okay, yeah,
and is like beating the shit out of her, breaking her arms and stuff.
Now you could argue that the first torture class was intentionally bad, so that when she was real tortured, it would be useful.
That's true, except they don't know that.
They don't know that they're going to torture her later.
Right.
But you know who does? The author of the book.
Yeah, so, Becca, you did it again. So they torture her. It's pretty violent.
Yeah.
She like has this like she starts hallucinating crazy because she's not eating. It's been like 5 days of being tortured.
Jesus Christ.
She sees Liam from the first book, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm losing my fucking mind." And he's like, "Yeah, or I am actually like a spirit from the underworld, and I'm really here to help you through this like terrible time." And you don't really know.
Yeah. That's nice.
And so he's like, I'm going to stick by you. And the thing that maybe makes it seem like he really is there is like when he touches her, she can really feel it.
Yeah.
Which is fun. And it's fun to see
nice.
Liam again because I remember I liked Liam.
And also, it doesn't matter because that's one of those things like, is it a figment? Is it not?
Matter.
It ultimately is to get her through. It's like a fantasy thing, or is it? Who knows?
He can also like peer around corners and be like, Varish is coming. And then Varish shows up. So you're like, okay, so that might really be him.
Might be real.
Which is kind of cool. And so she sees Liam and she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And he's like, no, don't be sorry. Like, we're going to get through this together. I'm going to stay by your side. But unfortunately, I can't actually get you out of here. And they're going to keep torturing you. But you just need to survive because I'm sure, this is Liam talking to her. He's like, I'm sure Zayden knows. And I'm sure he's going to tear the whole college apart to get to you.
Yeah.
So you're going to be fine. You just cannot die before he gets there, or not only will you die, Taryn, her dragon will die. Scale, Zayden's dragon will die, and Zayden will die. And then the whole point of everything will be ruined. It'll be over.
Yes, and ostensibly Varish does not want to kill her until she has information, so she just has to withstand the torture.
Because really,
if only she had some practice with this.
To Varish's credit, he's like, just tell me why you wanted it. Because he just needs to know if she knows about the zombies.
Okay.
He's like, if you just say that you did it, because it was like, he literally says, like, if this is like a dare, like a second-year dare, please just tell me.
Oh, interesting.
And it's like the only time where you're like, oh, like maybe like he just is a tough
if only you could have brought this sort of character stuff to, the other times he has appeared.
Yeah.
Because it really, in the small part I read, he came out and like comically bad guy.
Yeah.
It's kind of absurd.
But he literally says, like, if this is a dare or just like something you, like a private training thing you were trying to do, please just tell me. But the problem is that only people with the king's blood can get into that room, and I know you're not a king. So, like, what's happening? What is happening? And she's like,
he's looking for, we're trying to expand the wards?
Yeah.
Okay. Because then he knows there's this whole conspiracy.
Yeah.
But if she's like, I was trying to destroy them or whatever, he's like, okay, I don't care.
Well, the plan is to make new wards, right?
Right.
Because that's what her plan is, and what Brennan's plan is to just make the daggers.
Do we know what Varish's plan is? I guess not.
Varish is to protect Navarre, because Navarre is fine. Yeah. But maybe he is worried that, like, in expanding the wards, it'll make everybody's magic in the world much weaker.
Or if like she's working with the old rebels who were a problem,
right? And they don't know,
and he doesn't, and Varish doesn't like them or whatever. Okay,
but you have to imagine that the original rebellion, the Tyrus rebellion, was just what Xaden was trying to do, but it failed.
Yeah.
And in that case, like Navarre and Tyrandor clashed pretty outright, and Tyrandor was destroyed. It's not like Tyrandor was destroyed by the magical monsters.
Tyrandor is where where the Griffin people, Venin,
House
are coming
Ryerson.
from.
Yeah.
Here's my call shot.
Yeah.
Navarre lets the bad guys run amok in the rest of the world because that means it destabilizes the rest of the world and means that they're strong.
I mean, yeah. I think that's what the idea is.
Okay. And the rebels are the good guys because they're trying to like make the world a better place by killing all these guys.
Well, because they're saying like all of those civilians died at the border by griffins, and it's like there are reports of like blue flame, and so she knows that those are the Venin. They're just letting the Venin kill these civilians,
random people. Yeah.
So she's being tortured. He's like, becoming more evil. He's getting pissed off. It's been 5 days. Somebody run. Oh, they also have a truth tell. Like their magic is like they can tell if you're lying. And so she's like, I did not take the books from the library. Okay. And she's like, that's true. And Varys is like kind of like, I know, but you have one. Yeah. So like, why do you have it?
Yeah.
But before they can answer that, he's like breaking her arms and stuff. She's like fucked up.
Oh man, yeah.
Maybe the most we've ever seen her injured in the whole of the series.
Yeah, because every time she gets injured, it's a very Vin from Mistborn thing. There's some battle that comes out of nowhere. She gets injured, and then the next paragraph, she has rested and is now fine.
But this one is like life threatening.
Sure,
like she's about to die.
Yeah.
Somebody rushes down the stairs and is like, General Sorengale is calling all of the, like every person in charge ever in the army to this one place.
Oh.
Either like shit's going down. And Varys, he
doesn't
say
Violet's
this.
Mom,
yeah,
right?
Violet's mom. Varys doesn't say this, but he's like, oh, that must be like a real Venin attack on the border. So he's like, he brings in his ringer to try to get the information out. And who is it but Dane Atos? And Dane is there. And Varys tells him.
That's the truth telling
guy. That's her old best friend.
Yep.
Before the betrayal.
Yes.
Now remember when I told you, as soon as Violet arrives safe back at school at the beginning of this book, Dane is like actually worried about her.
Well, and
she thinks he sent her to her death.
And the torture exercise where he comes out and he's like, I'm
not going to do it.
I'm not going to do this. You've punched her twice.
Yeah.
She looks bad. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
So she sees how fucked up she is, but Varys is like, she's trying to destroy the wards and like invite all the... He says like, when you read her mind, you're going to see something. And I will explain that to you. But I just need you to tell me what happened. He's like, he's like pissed at Violet. He's like, you're trying to destroy the wards. And she like can't talk. Her like mouth is all fucked up. So she's just like gurgling like, I'm trying to save the continent. Like the Venin are attacking. And he's like, you're lying. And he's super pissed. And so he reads her mind. And she's trying to like flood her mind at the time with memories of what happened to Liam to try to make Dane feel bad. But part of that whole mission was that they were smuggling the daggers. And so Dane is like, you were really smuggling the daggers. And she's like, I can't believe that's the only thing he took. Like I guess he must really not care.
So then he still thinks that like, oh, you get the daggers to destroy the wards or whatever. Okay, yeah.
He demands the dagger from Varys. He's like, I need to know if this is the same one. And he grabs it and he like gets really emotional. He's like, it is. And he's like, Violet, I can't believe you did this. And then boom, he stabs Varys right in the side and cuts Violet out.
Well, Varys is still there. Okay.
Yeah, but Varys gets stabbed. Because everybody's like, Varys, you need to come up the stairs. We're talking about everybody in charge. And he's like, I need the information. And so everybody leaves. It's Dane, Varys, and Violet. Varys gets stabbed. Violet, he cuts Violet out and is like, come on, we have to go. If we're going to get out, we have to go. And I was like, I was just waiting for that to happen. Like, there's no way they're just going to have Dane slaughter this girl in this chair.
Although I would say that felt like genuine tension.
It was good.
Explaining
it was actually good.
So she can write a scene.
I know. It was actually good.
A compelling situation with all the stuff that doesn't make sense. The mind reader who can tell the truth.
The end of this
the
section
bad
is good.
evil guy.
I know.
Yeah.
One of the mind reading lady is there, and Dane like puts his sword up to her neck, and he's like, if you just let us go, I'll let you live. And then somebody's Dane says, I promise if you let us go, we'll live. And somebody's like, I don't. And like rips her fucking head off. And it's Xaden is there, obviously.
Yeah.
Xaden and Garrick are there. They see Dane, and Xaden just like moves to kill him. And Violet's like, no, he saved me. And they're like, well, yeah, but why did you like betray our location? He was like, I didn't know you were going to like do the secret rebellion thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tried to see, he was like, I tried to see, my dad was like, try to find out where they're going. And he just thought they were like going to fuck off at their War Games mission. And when he saw it, he was like, he saw a crazy their plan was crazy. They were going to go fight monsters or whatever. So he was like, oh, I'll help. I'll tell my dad they're going to go fight monsters. And then they left them to be.
So it was all a big misunderstanding.
He did rat her out, but he thought he was helping.
Okay, sure.
And the whole time, this whole section, he's been trying to get Violet one-on-one to try to explain himself, and it's just not working. So Xaden's like, oh, really? He's like, okay, but I still don't trust you, but you can come with us. And Garrick goes down the hall, and Garrick is like, Xaden, can you come over here? And they do, and they walk down the hall, and General Sorengale has like a knife to Garrick's throat. And she sees Xaden. As soon as she sees Xaden like nods. She lets Garrick go.
Oh.
And she like hugs Violet, and she's like, oh, thank God. I was worried like something like this was going to happen eventually. And they explain why her mom has been being the way she is the whole time.
Okay.
So, sorry, it feels like this one is going long. It's like there's a lot to suddenly there's a lot to talk about.
Of course. It's the classic nothing happens, then everything happens school of writing.
If you remember, Violet was supposed to be a scribe.
Yep.
And then her mom made her go into the writer's quadrant. She did that because once she knew Violet was going to be the greatest scribe ever.
Okay.
And that at a certain point, the scribes are all trusted with keeping this ruse going. That there are no venom, that there's nothing to worry about.
Oh, okay.
And she knew that as soon as Violet learned that, she was going to tell everybody and they were going to kill her.
Oh, because her heart was too pure or whatever. Okay.
And so she was like, I had to. So believe it or not, sending you to this insane school is actually safer because I knew you would have the ability to, at some point in the future when this became a problem, to actually have the power to help people.
Okay.
I might be mixing stuff up, but she's like, what about Xaden and like all that stuff? And she's like, me and Xaden have a deal. Like I told Xaden to watch out for you. In return, I put all of the marked tierish kids in one school so that Xaden could start a rebellion. Because she's like, the zombies are a problem. But if I start telling people they're going to kill me and you and us and my daughter and we already lost Brennan, because so General Sorengale still doesn't know, and so Violet doesn't tell her that Brennan is actually alive.
Yep.
And that it was like part of the deal. So the whole time from the jump of Fourth Wing, Xaden has been looking after Violet for the general to get all of these marked
now,
kids.
Does she know he's been cream pieing her?
No, she actually says like it was never in the plan that your two dragons were going to be mated to each other.
Oh, okay,
That does complicate things, and I don't like that, but whatever.
Hey, you're alive.
And
the hyper-violent school was actually the safest place you could be.
Yes. And General Sorengale is like, now I have to go do general stuff. Xaden, are you about to do what I think you're going to do with this rebellion stuff? And Xaden's like, uh-huh. And she goes, okay, please be safe. And then leaves.
Okay.
They're still at school. They go up and like all of the students are like, what the fuck is going on? Because everybody know venom exists now. Because for the past 5 days, Xaden and his team have been just like dropping wyvern and venom corpses on like forts and stuff to try to show people. It is
sort of
really
incredible that has not leaked anywhere among the thousands of people involved in the conspiracy. In the whole conspiracy, because that's every conspiracy theory for like the moon landing and stuff. Like the one piece of evidence for it not being a conspiracy is there's far too many people who would have to never say anything for it to actually work.
It's why I love pro wrestling when people are like, football is rigged. Do you know how hard it is for two people who know that a match is going to end a certain way to agree and have that
Two
go
people,
correctly?
let alone like 70.
Yeah.
Every game for how many games are there in a football season?
But I like that because it answered so many questions and put in perspective, like, okay, so it is kind of a rebellion. That was not clear when the book started, but the author knew it was a rebellion. So I stand by what I said. They go up. They're going to leave, right? They're going to go back to Ryerson House because school is over.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, the jig is up. It's done. So we have to actually go do the rebellion now.
Good.
And Violet's like, but there's all these fucking people with dragons. Shouldn't we see if like they want to come with and see if they want to like leave this behind and help? And he's like, well, yeah, but both them and their dragons have to agree. You can't do something and your dragon disagree. You can't. You have to both be on the same page.
And then if they don't, then they probably have to like kill them, right?
Well, they talk to everybody and they say what
one-on-one job interviews.
They get everybody in the courtyard. And Violet is like, so here's the deal. This is what's happening.
So is she not horrifically wounded now, or is she still? Can she speak? Or
she's like feeling better. Now? Like, you know, Call of Duty, you get shot, you slowly heal. You know what I mean?
She tortured for 5 days, and then 5 minutes later, she can make a speech to the whole school.
Well, she's like struggling to make a speech, and she makes it poorly. So she's like, "Hey, Taryn, how about you just magically fucking tell everybody that it's true?" Because the dragons know the venom exists. It's like the secret.
Oh,
because they know everything. They're
right,
the oldest thing in the world, and it's just that they're not telling their writers. And this is a conflict I haven't mentioned that has been happening the whole time.
Yeah, so
the dragons know that the venom are a problem, and that the griffins are sort of whatever.
Is it not revealed that like why the dragons decide to cover for the government of Navarre? By not telling people about
the dragons are looking out for themselves. They can kill the griffins. They might die when they fight the magic things. That's the whole Empyrean thing. Is like they convene and they're like, "Hey, so are we gonna personally deal with these scary dragons yet?" And they're like, "No, I don't think so." But now is the time to do so.
Okay.
So Taryn is like, "Can you just have the dragons please tell all the writers and just have if whatever dragons don't want to do it, don't tell the writers, because then everybody who is interested and like spiritually wants to be involved, because like the dragons and the writers are spiritually linked, and if they both have this magical connection of wanting to help and be good, they will agree to help. And if the people like, you know, the assholes at school or whatever don't, then whatever, then don't tell them." And so they do. And Xaden is like, "Okay, so you just got a bunch of images flashed into your head. If you did, that means you're in.
Yes
if
or no?
If you didn't, that means you're out. Sorry, because your dragon didn't want to share it with you. So let's go."
And the people who didn't get her are like, what?
Yeah. So let's go. And then all of the professors show up. And one of them, the professor of the magic of dragon magic, is like, "This is crazy. Like, you're all lying." And he tries to kill them all with this fire blast. And Bodhi, one of her friends, just like vaporizes it in midair. And he's like, "Yeah, some of us have magic powers we're not allowed to talk about. Mine is I cancel out everybody else's magic power when they try to do it to me." And I'm like, that could have come in handy so many times. Why were you afraid of the mind reading guy?
I think, you know what I would say, plot wise, we're barely handling the truth guy.
Yeah.
We can't have magic canceling guy also out in the open. Yeah, so there's probably someone who's like the dragon vaporizer, and like we can't. Yeah, it'd be really helpful, but you can't have him walking around.
So they all take off, and all these dragons. Some of the professors join. One of the professors is cheekily like, "Yeah, of course I'm in. Why do you think I left all those pamphlets in that class?"
Okay.
And Violet's like, "Oh, hey, you're pretty cool." And it's one of the professors she's been getting along with.
Sure.
And they all ride their dragons and fly, all the people who want to be a part of it. And it's like the biggest riot. A riot is what a group of dragons is called.
Oh, okay.
It's the biggest riot like the world has ever seen, like riding to Ryerson House. And Taryn and Xaden and Violet land first, and Brennan is pissed. And you get a kind of a fun thing where he's like yelling at Xaden, like, "How come every time I see my sister and she's with you, she's like injured?" And Violet is like, "That is the only other person I have ever seen like who is harnessing more like dark, angry rage than Xaden." And so like when Brennan snaps, it's like a big. Even Zayden's like, so like I think that's cool that like, oh shit, her brother is he's really is the big cheese. Like everybody really respects him. And he kind of looks up in the sky and sees all the dragons, and he's like, "What the fuck did you do?" And she's like, "Well, I thought you wanted more riders." And then it ends. Part 1 ends.
Fade to black.
So now they have they got more riders. They're gonna fight a wyvern, blue magic wheels,
iron flame.
But that's it. That's the end of part 1.
Wow.
So a lot of stuff.
That's kind of exciting.
I am excited to see where it goes.
That is exciting.
And I think I said I was going to decide once I finish part 1 if I'm going to keep reading it. And I think I am.
You know, this is the thing. Don't write your books in 5 months. I don't know what to say. I think
it got pretty good.
I think the stuff, fine. But like, you know, an editor has to go through and being like, hey, so did she really slide off the crenellations?
I know.
Can we clean that up? Like, that's what the other 6 months of writing a book is.
Yeah.
And then you have lots of people who aren't fucking pissed off.
Yeah.
And then you can write a good book.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's something in here. I'm compelled to see where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe I'm saying that after the first 2 episodes.
That is kind of crazy.
But I like the torture parts. It's fun.
And you want them to stop cussing.
I want them to stop cussing. I forgot to tell you this. They tie Varys to a chair and stab him in the heart. Nice. They tie Varys to the torture chair, and then Violet is she like can't lift her arms enough, and so Xaden like puts his hands around her and just jabs it into there. I thought that was kind of cool. Aww. They killed a guy.
They killed together.
Oh my god.
So I have a surprise.
Ooh.
I was reading. Do you want to explain to everyone what the Book of Brennan is?
Yeah, so the Book of Brennan is the secret. It's Ned's declassified school survival guide, left behind by Brennan for Mira when Brennan graduated Dragon School. It is an illicit item that helps. That tells you about classes and like what to watch out for, and is the only reason why Violet isn't dead because she has the book.
And it's sort of like a diary kind of thing,
an instruction manual on how to survive.
I was reading this part of Iron Flame, and I was flipping through it, and a sheet of paper fell out, and I was like, "Is this something that didn't make it into the book?" And it looked like a fragment of the Book of Brennan.
Oh, and what did it say?
I don't know. It's not associated with any chapter. So
no.
Yeah.
So we don't know where. This could be anything.
This could be anything.
And you haven't read this before, right?
No. I just thought I thought I'd bring this out. So this is how it starts. I mean, bear with me.
Yeah, but no, please.
Violet, don't read this part. I'm serious. Please don't read this. It's not about something dangerous that you need to know. I swear. Just please don't read this part. Are you gone? Okay, good. Dear Book of Brennan. God, I'm so fucking horny. Brennan is bricked. Brennan is fucking bricked up right now. Must be the weather. My seasonal allergies always get me feeling mighty lustful. It's springtime, and the bees, the way the pollen sticks to their legs as they fly from flower to flower, sucking up that nectar. Fuck. There's this girl in my Calculus 3 class, and I can't stop thinking about her fucking tits and her fucking riding leathers. And her fucking ass and her fucking riding leathers. God, I'm bummed she died. Her coitus would have shook the world. She got a differential equation wrong, and then the professors sent her to die in a cave. But then she lived too long, so they chopped her fucking head off. Her name was Megatrina. I think I sort of get why they didn't put that one in there.
No, that's... Yeah. It's a good thing that fell out, because...
Yeah, I don't know how, if they read that one.
No, I don't know.
I don't really quite know how that's helpful. I think it seems like you just need to get something out of system.
I don't know. They don't mention Megatrina once. No, I don't know. That so that fell out of your copy, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It must have been in the print run. The pages from the rough draft must have gotten in
good.
there or something.
The pages of the rough draft of the Book of Brennan. That's interesting. And it's nice that he gave her a warning.
Yeah.
And I like to think that all of the... Now, you seem to only have one page of the Book of Brennan with you. I like to imagine all the rest of them start with Dear Book of Brennan. like a gossip girl.
Like a diary. Yeah. Exactly.
All
right.
My God.
So that's Iron Flame, part 3. We'll see what we read for next time.
Yeah.
in the meantime, if you enjoyed the show, please leave us a review.
Yeah.
Listen to the other shows. Tell your friends. We like doing the show. And yeah, if you have any feedback or anything, email us at hardcoverhooligans@gmail.com. Follow us on all the social media, Instagram, TikTok, and the rest.
Instagram and TikTok too, and Facebook Marketplace.
You hear about? I can't do a Jay Seinfeld impression.
What are you talking about?
Instagram,
TikTok, Violet,
short videos.
Violet makes short videos.
Violet stabbed a guy.
Violet's TikTok.
Knives or the wards? Just pick one.
Oh yeah, that's I don't know. That's a thing I still don't really get. I don't understand why they have to decide.
Who cares?
Who cares?
All right, we're gonna call it there. Do you have a sign off?
Let's stay swollen.
Stay swollen.
Boom, 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 boom,
Book of Brennan.
And stay swollen and horny. I'm so horny in my book.